Podcasting from beautiful Leesburg, Virginia. Welcome to the Music Educator podcast, bringing you tips, tricks, and practical advice that you can use tomorrow. Here's your host and fellow music educator, Bill Stevens.
And welcome back, my friends, to the Music Educator podcast. My name is Bill Stevens, your host for today. And today, we're going to talk about hosting a summer symposium. Let's get started. Have you ever considered hosting a summer symposium? Do you have camp experience, or does your school have an active and supportive parental team? Are the facility and financial resources available to you over the summer? All of these are important to consider when crafting a plan to host a summer symposium. The benefits of hosting a summer symposium include: number 1, additional performance opportunities. Number 2, recruitment opportunity. Number 3, private/small group instruction by professional musicians. Number 4, student leadership opportunities. Number 5, community involvement. Number 6, more focus on collaboration. Number 7, strengthening musical skills. Number 8, perform with student musicians at various levels. And number 9, networking with other music educators. So it's clear that there are certainly benefits to hosting your own summer symposium. Now let's talk about how we can do this. First, we're going to start with a goal outline. And the process of planning a summer symposium can be as simple or complex as you want to make it. Regardless, make sure the plan is thorough. And the success of this event lies in the details. Firstly, create an outline of your goals that you'd like to use that is realistic. Realistic goals can be in many different forms. Choosing dates. Choosing dates are necessary and should be set on the school's calendar as early as possible. And my recommendation is that you have never hosted a music symposium, start with the one that lasts 5 days for about 2 to 5 hours a day. Remember, most events like this conclude with a performance, and rehearsal time is super precious. In addition, try not to set dates over times that are too close to the end or start of school. More importantly, don't set your dates over the music camps that could involve music students needing to make a choice over one or the other. Survey students. Next, survey your students. Find out how many student musicians at your school are interested in participating. Instrumentation and student numbers should be evaluated and considered in your overall plan. After that, have established the number of students, instrumentation, and facilities that will be in use. Do you have costs for facilities, transportation, snacks, custodians, or other event-oriented fees? Is the school paying, or are the students paying? Perhaps you received a grant. As a result of your situation, you may be able to host a camp completely free of fees. Consequently, this will impact the type of experience your students receive. Create a schedule. Now create a schedule. At this point, there should be a general logistical plan for when things should happen. Consider transitions, group rehearsals, snacking, icebreakers, and break times when creating your schedule. Time, staff, and resources are essential considerations when rehearsal or performance setups are needed. Consider your audience. Next, consider your musicians and audience. Evaluate the ability level of your weaker players. Consider the number of influential musicians you have. And I would recommend playing a music selection that the weaker players can still play. And despite having a much shorter time for rehearsal, your stronger musicians should be able to bring up the musical presence quickly. Secondly, consider that students are giving up a portion of their summer break to perform, and perhaps make the selection of music theme-based. At the very least, add some fun music that the musicians and audience can appreciate. Remember, the summer is an excellent time for student musicians to reinforce why they love music, and use every opportunity to create a positive aesthetic response. Staffing. Have a strong staff. No, wait, have a great staff. If resources allow hiring fully knowledgeable, strong teachers that meet the goals of the symposium and can make it fun, then hire them. This creates a positive culture for the week and creates memories that forces students to want to come back for next year. Ideally, have a staff member for every type of instrument. If this isn't possible, then consolidate so that the staff covers a bigger category of instruments, such as brass or woodwind, strings. Camp week. Finally, the week of symposium arrives. Constantly follow up with the schedule and staff to make sure things are running smoothly. Be sure you meet with the instructors, the student leadership, and lead parent volunteers at the end of each day. Reflect and consider if activities need to be tweaked for the upcoming day. Closing comments. Hosting a summer symposium is a rewarding project. After all loose ends are tied up, you will find the rewards far outweigh the additional time and effort that is required to make the event a success. If hosting a summer symposium interests you, feel free to comment and share any ideas you have with me so that I can improve mine. Till next time, keep investing in yourself and your students' future. Thanks again for joining me today with the Music Educator podcast. I'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Music Educator podcast for the latest tips, tricks, and practical advice you can use tomorrow. You can subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. Please visit the Music Educator blog at www.forthemusiceducator.com for additional posts and music education news. As always, join in the discussion and let your voice be heard by providing feedback at www.forthemusiceducator@gmail.com or leave a Google voicemail at 703-942-9883. We will see you on the next episode of the Music Educator podcast, and remember, music can change the world.